When I was 6 months clean and sober, one of my best friends died. It wasn't from addiction, it was sudden, and it wrecked me. I couldn't get out of bed for a week. I canceled everything. I needed space to feel it, but I didn't use. Then, 5 years into my recovery, on Christmas Day, I got the call that my dad had passed. I was out of the country, alone. I traveled 20 hours back home with a weight in my chest I can't even describe. My dad was my best friend, the one person who I knew loved me unconditionally, no matter what. And still, I didn't use. Not because I'm special, not because I'm stronger than anyone else, but because I made a decision a long time ago. I will not use grief as an excuse to go back. If you're here right now because you've lost someone, or you're afraid of losing someone, and you're wondering how to get through it without going back to the thing that almost destroys you, stay with me. This video isn't just about surviving grief and recovery. It's about walking through it with clarity, with peace, and with purpose. So you don't just make it out, you make it count. Hey, ever since my TEDx talk came out, Relapse Prevention Failed, I've had a lot of people ask where they can get this shirt. So I went ahead and made a merch shop for you. It's a drop ship, so would love to get you some of these shirts. You can see them right below. Every one of these supports this channel and supports this message, getting to more people in recovery. And if you get one, make sure to send me an email at adam@recoveredonpurpose.org, and I'd love to send you something else. Grief hits different when you're sober, because you're actually feeling it. In addiction, we had escape routes. We didn't have to sit in it. We numbed it, buried it, blacked it out. But when you're clean, there's nowhere to run. You feel it all, sharp, raw, and real. That doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive. Grief and recovery isn't just sadness, it's disorientation. It's waking up and forgetting for a second that they're gone, and then remembering all over again. It's wondering how to move through your day without falling apart, and still knowing deep down that you can't afford to fall back. The truth is, recovery doesn't protect you from pain, but it does prepare you to face it head on. What makes grief feel so intense now isn't just the loss, it's that we finally care enough to feel it. You're not weak for hurting. You're not doing something wrong if you're struggling to get through it. This is what healing actually looks like. And if it feels like too much, good. That means you're not running from it. You're growing through it. Feel it fully. Mourn without apology. But don't lie to yourself and say this feeling gives you permission to go backwards. You didn't come this far to lose yourself in something that can't bring them back. You're sober, you're grieving, and you're still breathing. And that means there's something powerful waiting for you on the other side of this. When Dan died, I shut everything down. I wasn't going to meetings, I wasn't answering calls, I wasn't posting, working, speaking, none of it. I just laid there. And for about a week, I let myself feel it. That wasn't isolation for relapse, that was intentional silence. I didn't need distractions, I needed to mourn someone I loved. And even in that space, I wasn't afraid, because I had already decided that no matter how hard this gets, I don't use. Not for pain, not for loss, not for anything. And here's what happened. I got through it, slowly, and when I came back, I spoke at his service. I was able to stand in front of people who loved him and speak truth and love into their grief. Not because I was strong, but because I stayed clean and sober. That's what I want you to understand. You don't have to be perfect when grief hits. You just have to be willing to stay clean long enough to use your experience to help someone else. I didn't muscle through it. I surrendered to it, but I didn't give it control of my recovery. Sometimes the best thing you can do is step back and breathe, as long as you stay honest with yourself. If you need a break, take it. If you need time to cry, to scream, to fall apart, take it. But don't stay there too long, because someone's going to need you to stand up again. Grief doesn't just hit your heart, it messes with your mind. When my dad died, I didn't just lose a parent, I lost the one person on earth I knew loved me unconditionally. That kind of love, it's rare. And when it's gone, your mind starts whispering lies. You'll never be loved like that again. You're really alone now. It's subtle, but it's dangerous. Because if you believe it, you start detaching. You pull away from people. You stop trusting connection. And before you know it, you're not just grieving the person you lost, you're grieving hope itself. Grief wants to convince you that no one gets it, that your pain makes you different, isolated, forgotten. But listen to me, you are not alone in this. Grief lies. God doesn't. God's love didn't vanish with your loss. And the people he's placed in your life, or will place in your life, aren't replacements. They're reminders that love is still alive. You're not forgotten, you're not cursed, you're not doomed to suffer in silence for the rest of your life. Your pain is real, but so is your purpose. And when grief tries to steal your truth, you fight back with faith. with action, with connection. You don't owe grief your identity. You're allowed to feel it, but you don't have to believe it. I want to make something really clear. I didn't stay clean through loss because I'm super strong or have some secret trick. I stayed clean because I made a decision a long time ago that using again is not an option. Not for pain, not for confusion, not for grief. If the death of someone I love could justify using, then anything could. That line of thinking has to be cut off the table entirely, because if there's still something in life that has permission to take you out, that means your sobriety is still for sale, and mine isn't. When I lost my dad, I didn't feel strong, I felt shattered. But even in the tears, even in the travel, even in the quiet hours of coming home without him there, using didn't enter the conversation because I'd already closed that door. I had to remind myself, this pain hurts, but it's not pointless, because someone, somewhere, was going to lose their dad too, and they'd need to know it's possible to make it through without relapsing, without running. And maybe you're that person right now. Maybe you're the one who's wondering how to get through this without falling apart. I'll tell you how. You decide right now. You don't run. You don't reach out for what you used to use. You walk through this clean, honest, awake. Because when you do, this pain becomes someone else's survival story, and that changes everything. One of the most powerful things I've learned about grief is this. You don't honor someone's memory by falling apart. You honor it by how you show up. When I spoke at my dad's funeral, I didn't have to fake strength. I just had to stand in it. I was heartbroken, yeah, but I was present, sober, grounded. I got to tell the truth about who he was, what he meant to me, and the life I'm gonna live because he raised me to be someone who doesn't give up. If you've lost someone, whether recently or years ago, let that pain mean something. Let it push you to be someone who helps carry the weight for others when they're hurting too. You're not the only one grieving. Look around you. There's someone else in your circle, a sibling, a parent, a friend, who doesn't know how to deal with the loss either. So be the one who shows up. Don't run, don't hide, don't retreat into isolation pretending it's healing. Pick up the phone and ask how someone else is doing. Show them what it looks like to hurt without collapsing. Show them that it's possible to feel and stay. That's what real strength looks like. And that's how you turn grief into legacy, by living a way that keeps their love moving forward, not buried in the past. Grief isn't just about sadness, it's layered. And if you don't take the time to unpack it, it'll start piling up into something heavier than it needs to be. When I lost my dad, I didn't just cry and move on. I had to get real with myself. I had to inventory what was under the surface, not for anyone else, but for me. I realized I had resentment toward cancer. I was angry at something I couldn't punch or reason with. I also had unspoken fear, like, what if no one ever loves me like that again? And I had a quiet resentment at my dad too. I wanted him to take better care of himself. I wanted more time. That kind of honesty, that's where the healing started. If you're grieving, take inventory. Write down what hurts, not just that they're gone, but everything around it. Are you mad at God? Scared to face holidays without them? Feel guilty for something you never said? Put it all on paper. Then talk to someone about it. A sponsor, a mentor, someone who's walked through loss and didn't fall apart. You don't need to carry all of it alone. You just need to be willing to look at it. Because once you name the pain, you can give it purpose. You can turn it into something that not only frees you, but helps someone else heal when it's their turn to walk through this. There's no formula for grief, no clean timeline, no checklist, but there is a choice. You can let this path crush you, or you can let it shape you. You can let the loss define you, or you can let the love carry forward through you. What you do right now matters. You staying clean through this isn't just a win for your own recovery. It's a beacon for someone else who's about to face their own storm. You might not see it today, but trust me, someone's gonna need to hear what you're walking through right now. That's why I stayed clean. Not because it was easy, but because I know if I relapsed, I'd miss the chance to help someone else make it through without relapsing too. So here's what I want you to do. Take a deep breath, a real one, and then take one small step forward. Call someone, write about it, pray. Ask God to use this pain for something greater than just survival, because He will. He always does. Let this grief become a message. Let this loss become someone else's hope. You don't need to numb this. You don't need to escape it. You were built to walk through it and lead others through it too, as you continue living, recovered on purpose. If your grief might be coming from a place of shame and guilt, we can get rid of those in that video right here. Or if you want to watch my TEDx talk, Relapse Prevention Failed, you can click right here.